we're going to multiply exponents, and this rule is called power property for exponent. So, for example, if I have a cubed square, make it a little bigger so you can write. Before actually I do that, let me ask you a question. If I say x squared, you don't have to write this down. Then you write it down twice, right? X times x, right? If I say x cubed, then you say x times x times x. If I have a cubed square, then what do you do? Same thing what you do here. You write out the a cubed twice. Right? So a cubed times a cubed. And then bless you. And then you know how to extend the a cube from then as well, right? A cube is a times a times a. I don't know how many a's I said already, but anyway, 3 times, right? And then another 3 times, so that's 6 times. So that means a to the 6th, right? So that's a long way. A shorter one is we can use the power rule. All you do is take the power of outside, move the power of the inside, then you're done. A to the 6th. So the rule is that if I have a to the m parenthesis and outside is to the n power, I can multiply the 2 powers, a to the m times n. The formula I boxed, make sure you remember it for the exam, okay? The best way to remember it is do a lot of homework. Let's try 7. Oh, right here too. It's the same thing I wrote up there. It's the same thing. I have x to the 4 to the 5th. So according to the power rule, all I have to do is multiply 4 and 5. So x to the 20. You guys try B and C and tell me what you got. What about B? X to the x to the 4 times y, or y times 4, 4y. And then C. C would be 4 to the xy. Do you have any question up to this point? Right. I think it, like 90, at least 90% of students understand what I'm talking about in lecture. But for some reason, when you guys do exam, you get nervous because it's a lot of material all at once. And you know, when you take exam, your blood, you got nervous, your blood goes to your limbs instead of goes to your brain. Right? Because it's fight and flight. You want to run. Evolutionary, we're not designed to take exams, right? We're designed to run from danger. You saw danger, blood goes to your limbs as opposed to go to your brain. So, again, do homework. A lot of practice. You do well next time. All right. Objective 5 is the extension of objective 4. So, product and power rule. Now, instead of have 1 base, I have 2 base inside the parenthesis. What do? Same thing, right? Distribute the power. So instead of have so it's just a to the m, I have say a to the a times b. Just say a times b first to the n. Then you do the same thing with like you did with just the 1 base, right? You distribute power to the a, and then you distribute power to the b. Same thing, right? So a to the b, a to the n times b to the n. Now, if a little bit more complicated, just slightly more, I'm gonna have a power of a and b inside as well. So say a to the, let me put a to the m here, and then b to the n. right? And then outside I got little p. Same rule. Same rule, always same rule. You distribute the p to the n, the p to the n. So a to the np times b to the np. Let me ask you something. You don't remark, say as a remark. Maybe I'll do like this. Is it true or false? The blue, the one I wrote in blue. Is it true or false? Who say true? Raise your hand. It's just take an educated guess. Who say true? True. False. Come on, take educated guess. Who say false? All right. So the rest is unsure. Have you ever learned any kind of those rule before? Have I ever shown you those? No, right? No. So this is not true. Please don't distribute. Why? Because when you have a addition or subtraction there, maybe I'll put a subtraction there. And it's not true that you're not allowed to distribute the power. An example for this is example will be this. If I have say, let me do this. 3 plus 2 square. Let's see if it equal. They equal. I don't know if it equal or not. So 3 square plus 2 square. What is the left hand side equal? 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 square is 25, right? What's the right hand side equal? 9 plus 4 is 13. They're not equal. Right? So you're not allowed to do that. So please don't do that on the exam. Okay, so number 9. The right way is to leave it alone. Yeah. If there's nothing else, there's no rule for you to do, leave it alone. Multiply what? Yes, and then you fold it. Yeah, and then you have trinomial instead of binomial. Remember when you fold two binomial, how many terms do you have? 3, right? You fold 2 binomial, you're gonna have the first, the middle, and the last, right? Here you have 2, so it's wrong in the first place. Anyway, number 9. Let's practice the rule. If I was you, I'll do like this. So negative 2 cubed, x cubed, y cubed. I always put, if a negative number, I always put it in parentheses. If it odd power, then you lucky, it doesn't matter. You put it in parentheses or not. But even power, there's a problem. What negative 2 cubed equal? Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Negative 8. And then x cubed, y cubed. Let me move it down here because can box it. You guys do C first before you do B. Yeah. I'll give it to you later when it's short. It's the last worksheet. We're not started yet. Let's try C first before we actually jump to B and D. What do you have? You do like that, right? You put each factor, you distribute the power to each factor. I suggest you put each factor in parentheses. So 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. X to the 5th cube, adding or multiplying? Multiplying, right? We only have one base. X to the 15, and then y to the 21. Today is class 4. It's class 4. No, I don't want to go there. It's scary. All right, B. B, there's many ways of doing B, but let me show you one way that I do it. The negative x squared. I'm going to rewrite this as -1 times x squared times y to the 5th times z, all of that to the 4. Is that okay? All I do is to rewrite the negative here as -1 times x squared. And then again, same rule, you distribute the power into every factors. So -1 to the 4th, x squared to the 4, y 5th to the 4, and z to the 4. -1 to even power equal. If a -1 to an even power is positive, right? -1 times -1 times -1 times -1. 4 times, so just 1, right? X squared to the 4 is x to the 8, and then y 5th to the 4 is y to the 20, and then z to the 4. And then let's box it up. If you want to erase that one, that's fine too, but I'll leave it like that. The little dot means multiplication. You gotta try D. In the meantime, I'm gonna pull up your to try. We're gonna skip you try 2. I don't have you try 2 on it because I don't have time. So what do you have? Anyone have the answer yet? Two to the 10 to the 30 power, x to the 4 to the 30 power, and y to the 7 to the 30 power. 10 times 30 is 300, so 2 to the 300. I don't think I'm gonna make it into an inch, like a number. I'll just leave it. 2 is 300, it's too big. X to the what? X to the 4 times 30 is 120, and then 3 times 30 is 210. If the number is small, I would ask you to, put in your calculator and tell me what it is. If it's too big, then maybe sometimes your calculator cannot handle that. Let's leave it like that. Skip. Last page. We are kind of behind, so. Okay, so here are the 3 rules that I want you to remember. The product if you have two or more bases, you are allowed to add the exponents. You have a power outside and only one base, then you distribute the power. Same thing with that one. That's 10A, that should be easy. So 2 to the 4, x cubed to the 4, and y to the 4. 2 to the 4 is 16. X cubed to the 4 is x to the 12, and then y to the 4. So that one is just kind of similar to what we did above. Now for B, there are two ways of doing B. Some students do this. They just kind of distribute the 3 into each of the factors, which is fine, not wrong. Right? But for me, I like to simplify inside the parentheses first, and then distribute my power last. So what I meant by that is that I see light bases here. I see this one and this one. Are they light base, right? So what do I do when I have light base? Add, right? So let's rewrite the 2 here. X to the 5th now. And then, and then another light base. Y to the 6, very good. And now I distribute the power. Right? So 2 square, x to the 5th square, y to the 6th square. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Third. So third here. Thank you. So 8, x to the 15, and then y to the 18. Do you have any? Yes.
Next to the 2 on the second one.
This one.
Next to the exponent for the exponent for the number 2.
What number?
Is that a 3?
Oh, 3, yeah, that's
Yeah.
3. Anything else? Okay, let's do C. Oops, sorry. See, if I see 2 fractions like this, you don't have to, but for my habit, I like to write it 5/1. 5/1. So again, I'm gonna clean the inside first. I'm gonna clean the inside first. So still outside this to the 6th power. I'm gonna group them together. The 5 to the 1st, I'm sorry, 5/1. Let me do outside scrap. 5/1 times 2/5, what is it equal to? 2, right? 2. So this is cancel this, so 2. So 2, I'm gonna put 2 down here. What about x squared and x cubed? X squared and x cubed, x to the 5th again. And then y to the 5th, right? Now you distribute the 6. 2 to the 6th. I'm sorry, yeah, right, 2 to the 6th. X to the 5th to the 6th. And y to the 5th to the 6th. 32 times 2 is 64. 2 to the 6th is 64. X to the 30, y to the 30. That's my answer. hang on, let me. Every time I do this, I'm so nervous. I'm just, we skip you try 3. Because we have another 3. Don't worry, we have a lot more to do. But we skip it. Okay. I want you to do 11A at home. But we're gonna do part B. We'll do part B. Why don't you do that? I'll walk around, see how you do, since we skipped you try 3. I'm gonna delete that you try 3 on your Moodle. I have it on there, but I don't have time, so I'll delete it. 11B, 11. We doing this one. Oh, sorry, it's not sharing. Oh. People watch it at home, you can just skip this part. When you watch it at home. Right. Battery. Anyone have an answer? Can I simplify A over 81? How? I'm talking about integer. I'm not talking about or fraction. I'm not talking about decimals. I hope no one do that. Can I simplify A over 81? No, 1 is even, 1 is odd, right? So A over 81 is A over 81. There's no common factor, right? If you do it out, so don't write this down. A is 2 times 4. 81 is what? 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, right? 3 to the 4 is 81. So there's no common factor whatsoever. So can't simplify. What I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute. Don't combine the. I know they like bases. You can just combine, but the reason we don't combine because they're being obstructed with the pile outside. Right? You only combine them if nothing around them. So we gotta take care of the pile outside first. So x to the 4 here, and then y to the 10, and now 3 to the 4, x to the 12. What else? This is just x to the 12, y to the 8. What 3 to the 4 equal? Yeah, 81. Now you can cancel. Now you can cancel. I don't feel like writing it again. I'll write it again. That's fine. So A over 81. Let's combine it first. So this is 81 here. X to the 4 and then x to the 12 is x to the 16. And then y to the 10, y to the 8 is y to the 18. And now I can simplify this. this. You want, you can do over 1 like that. So your final answer will be a x to the 16, y to the 18. Yay, we done 6.2. If you want to go graph 6.3 handout, feel free to do so.